Vegas federal courtroom as the judge delivered the final verdict. Rick Harrison and Austin.
What's up? It's your boy Stevie83 and we're back with another react. You know what I'm saying? Today we're reacting to Pawn Stars. These boys got life in prison. Chumley and Rick the old man. I didn't even know these boys was in trouble. These people crazy.
Chumley Russell, overwhelmed by the weight of their sentences, collapsed in shock. The dramatic scene left spectators stunned, highlighting the intense emotions surrounding the case. But what led to this shocking courtroom confrontation between the beloved Pawn Stars' personalities and the justice system? Here's everything you need to know about the explosive legal battle that brought the History Channel icons to their knees. Harrison and Russell were widely regarded as two of the most influential figures in reality television, celebrated for their contrasting personalities.
See, I didn't even know they were in trouble. I thought the pawn shop was just still going like every day. I mean, the show was still running.
Historical knowledge and unparalleled ability to bring authenticity to every episode of History Channel's hit show Pawn Stars. Their careers, spanning over a decade on television, included iconic moments such as high-stakes negotiations, historical discoveries, and memorable interactions that captivated millions of viewers worldwide.
Hey, I used to watch
However,
I used to be a fan.
Their legacy extends far beyond their television achievements. Their influence on the collectibles market, their contributions to popularizing
it's gotta be like tax evasion,
and their deliberate decision to build a tourist empire in Las Vegas all paint a picture of entrepreneurs who transformed a family pawn shop into a global phenomenon.
Hell yeah.
Harrison's television career was built on a foundation of sharp business acumen, historical expertise, and an unwavering commitment to the deal. Despite facing early skepticism about the show's concept, he refused to let doubters define him.
But what did they do?
Instead, he channeled his determination into building both the gold and silver pawn shop and its television presence, eventually earning his place as one of the most recognizable businessmen in America.
Right?
His performances earned him critical acclaim, solidifying his status as the shrewd but fair face of the pawn industry. What set Harrison apart was his ability to educate viewers about historical artifacts with a depth and accessibility that resonated deeply with audiences across demographics.
I like that part telling us. I liked it when they told us where it came from, what they did, how it came about, what year it was from. I really liked that, man. And now they're in prison for life?
Made them famous. Their behind-the-scenes business ventures showed their entrepreneurial minds. After building their personal brands through the show, they diversified with restaurants, retail stores, and personal appearances that made them millions. Money that would later become central to the legal war that threatened to permanently destroy their carefully constructed empire. The aftermath of Pawn Stars' success saw both the legitimate business and alleged criminal enterprise take dramatically different paths.
Criminal enterprise? Like, what were these guys doing,
the gold and silver pawn shop's trajectory skyrocketed after the show's debut, becoming one of Las Vegas's most popular tourist destinations with millions of visitors annually. Their careful approach to merchandising, coupled with strong brand recognition, positioned them as resilient symbols of American entrepreneurship. Meanwhile, federal investigators faced immediate challenges. The complex network of transactions, spanning multiple states and business entities, initially presented formidable obstacles, a fraction of the evidence that would eventually emerge. The stark contrast between the public-facing business and the alleged underground operation created tensions that would intensify over years. "We built this business on knowledge and fair deals," Harrison frequently told reporters during the early investigation. "But scrutiny makes you stronger. I was determined to cooperate fully, especially when the allegations seemed so disconnected from our actual operations." This determination fueled a methodical and increasingly public approach to their defense. While many targets of federal investigations might have avoided comment entirely, Harrison and Russell maintained careful transparency about the process while asserting their innocence.
What I do know is, for these guys to be in the federal criminal justice system going against the feds, it has to be money, guns, or drugs. So they couldn't be in trouble for. They got to be in trouble.
Discussing the investigation's impact on their business
bond out
gained
shit.
sympathetic coverage, establishing them as victims of overzealous prosecution. The early 2020s saw the contrast between public support and mounting evidence intensify as both reached new levels. Fan campaigns proclaiming their innocence gained millions of followers, while prosecutors quietly assembled financial records that painted an increasingly troubling picture of a sophisticated criminal enterprise operating behind the legitimate pawn business. Behind the scenes, however, Harrison and Russell struggled with the accelerating legal pressure that threatened to expose their alleged operation, problems their legal team addressed with increasingly complex strategies. Facing allegations so
they must not have
contrary
did too good, the lawyer team, because these boys got an L.
to our public image has been devastating, Harrison admitted in a rare candid interview. We turned to what we know best, transparency and facts, and hoped it would be enough. This public defense contrasted sharply with the prosecution's increasingly focused.
It's never enough. When you're dealing with the feds, they want your body, they want your damn money, they want your soul.
Operation. By 2022, the gap between public persona and alleged criminal activity had become enormous. While supporters maintained belief in their innocence, federal prosecutors had assembled a case involving over $15 million in illegal transactions and elaborate schemes to launder money through the pawn shop that would soon become public in the most dramatic way possible.
Money laundering,
what finally triggered the criminal charges after years of investigation, a discovery during a 2022 audit of previously sealed financial records by forensic accountant Thomas Richards. I found these sophisticated transaction patterns in their business accounts, Richards explained in a congressional hearing that quickly made rounds among financial crime experts. You can clearly see systematic efforts to move illicit funds, with resources flowing through the legitimate business specifically designed to conceal their origins. The financial records became a major topic in legal circles, with law enforcement agencies analyzing the complex web of transactions between the pawn shop and various shell companies. A week later, prosecutors revealed documents that estimated the operation had laundered approximately $15.7 million.
Wow!
With elaborate structures designed to conceal the activity for years.
These
weren't simple accounting errors, the lead prosecutor told the grand jury. These structures required deliberate planning and maintenance over many years, with both Harrison and Russell playing key roles. This mounting evidence, revealing...
My thing is, how'd they get Chumley wrapped up in this shit? And not the other boy, the middle boy, like...
An alleged pattern of financial crimes seemed to be the final catalyst.
I thought he was
Within
cool.
weeks, federal prosecutors assembled a case, and
I at least thought he was cool enough not to get caught up in no money laundering shit. Damn, you gonna get caught, my boy, get caught getting high, get caught doing drugs, messing with some girls, some prostitutes or something like that. You know, this boy really got in this money laundering shit with old Rick. Like, look at this boy right here on the left. Rick, this boy, I would never get in no laundering money with this dude, man. No way.
Filed multiple charges against Harrison and Russell,
Chumley,
including money laundering, conspiracy, and racketeering that carried potential life sentences if convicted on all counts. The charges weren't just about money. These allegations represented a fundamental challenge to their core public image, that of honest businessmen whose knowledge and fair dealing had made them television icons.
There's nobody in Las Vegas.
Through the entertainment industry.
Everybody in Vegas is a criminal.
Potentially the most significant case involving reality television personalities
and
history.
TV. You're
Court
corrupt.
filings revealed startling details about the alleged criminal enterprise operating behind the pawn shop. Internal communications from 2018 showed that multiple associates had actually warned about potential exposure. However, concerns about maintaining their public image led to a calculated decision. Current structure presents unacceptable detection risk. Read 1 confidential document. Recommend immediate reorganization before proceeding with additional transactions. Day 1 of the trial set the tone. As Harrison and Russell entered the courtroom, financial investigators visibly watched their every move. Government attorneys arranged stacks of financial records before them. The beloved television personalities who had entertained millions had finally reached their legal reckoning.
Wow.
Your Honor, this case is about systematic money laundering on a massive scale.
Massive scale.
Opened.
Massive.
A carefully constructed facade of legitimate business while deliberately processing millions in illicit funds. The trial quickly became intense. When the newly discovered financial records were displayed in court.
That's what I've been wanting to ask. Can somebody on the internet, can somebody explain to me why it's 2025 and in the UK they still wear that fake ass wig? Why do they do that?
Harrison was seen shaking his head emphatically, occasionally leaning to whisper to his attorneys when particularly damaging evidence was presented. Russell, meanwhile, appeared increasingly distressed as the prosecution outlined his alleged role.
Totally scared. He
During
don't want to go to jail.
Cross-examination,
Especially in
tensions
Vegas.
escalated. Agent Miller, is it your testimony that Mr. Harrison personally directed these transactions? Asked the prosecutor. His signature appears on all key authorizations. The FBI investigator responded firmly.
Damn.
And these signatures authorize the creation of shell companies specifically designed to hide the source of funds. The courtroom grew particularly tense during testimony about the
And the motherfucking judge's name is Launder?
timeline of the alleged operation. Would you say these financial
make this
structures
shit
were
up,
sophisticated enough to
You
indicate
can't make
deliberate
this shit
intent?
up, kid.
Questioned the prosecutor.
King
They
Queens,
required
we can't
extensive
make it
planning
up.
and maintenance, the financial expert replied tersely. Harrison, visibly agitated, adjusted his glasses.
Damn.
The judge warned,
You got that samurai
"Please
sword.
maintain decorum in my courtroom." Financial experts testified about the elaborate nature of the alleged money laundering operation. These structures were designed with one primary purpose: to conceal the origin of funds, testified Dr. Eleanor Jenkins, forensic accounting expert from Georgetown University.
Get 'em
The
up.
multiple layers of transactions served no legitimate business purpose. The defense focused on the legitimate aspects of their business and potential misunderstanding of complex financial arrangements, arguing that they had relied on professional advisors and had no criminal intent. My clients have built a legitimate business empire that employs dozens of people, their attorney argued. These financial structures were recommended by professionals they trusted implicitly. As the trial neared its end, fans watched with intense interest. This wasn't just a legal battle. It was the potential downfall of television icons whose appeal had been built
They're fighting
on their
the feds,
perceived
man.
authenticity
You can't
and
do that.
expertise. Financial forensics became a central element of the trial, with accountants following the money trail across years of transactions.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers were staggering. Beyond the laundered funds, which totaled approximately $15.7 million, there were complex networks of shell
15 mil
companies
laundered.
estimated to have cost $2.3 million to maintain, and sophisticated accounting systems designed to conceal the operation, which added another $1.8 million in operational costs. On the final day, the courthouse was surrounded by supporters, some holding Pawn Stars memorabilia, while others wore shirts with the show's logo. Inside, the air felt electric as Judge Eleanor Blackwood prepared to deliver her verdict following 8 weeks of testimony.
Blackwood, I thought it
In the matter
showed
of
that guy's
United
name. It
States
said
versus
Launder.
Harrison and Russell, the judge began. This court has carefully weighed the evidence regarding financial transactions, business operations, and the defendant's actions over the past 7 years.
Hold on, what does his actions got to do with anything? Like, I could be the worst person in the world and not be innocent of money laundering.
The room was so quiet you could hear the papers rustle as Harrison and Russell leaned forward, hands clasped tightly before them. The court finds compelling evidence that the defendants engaged in systematic money laundering through sophisticated financial structures. The judge continued, particularly in the creation and maintenance of shell companies designed specifically to conceal the origin of illicit funds. Harrison's eyes widened. Russell visibly paled. Their family members exchanged nervous glances.
Chumley scared
The
as
court
shit.
finds both defendants guilty on all counts, the judge stated firmly.
Wow.
Given the scale and sophistication of this operation, along with the defendants' positions of public trust, the court must impose the maximum sentence. The judge's ruling was precise. Harrison and Russell would each receive life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Wow.
Along with the forfeiture of assets connected to the criminal enterprise.
All your money's
The court
gone.
sentences both defendants to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after serving 25 years, the judge announced. Additionally,
Deuce Nick!
all assets connected to these illegal activities are hereby forfeited to the United States government.
Yeah, that's how they get you. That's
The
how the
reality-
government. Right there, see? That's how the government gets you, boy. Look, we're not allowed to launder the money. We're not allowed to have the money. But every dollar they take from us when we get locked up goes to them? Man,
Hit
you
them
see
like
how
a
that's
physical
wrong?
blow. After a decade of building their
The rich
television
stay
empire,
rich, the
after
poor get
becoming
poorer.
symbols of historical knowledge and entrepreneurship, this moment should have been unthinkable. Instead, the reality of life imprisonment, a direct contradiction to their carefully crafted public image, felt like the final episode of a series no one expected. Harrison's face drained of color. Sweat beaded on Russell's forehead as the judge continued reading the full judgment.
Them boys scared to go to that board. Them boys scared to go to the pen.
Additionally, the defendants must make full restitution, and the judge's voice became distant, drowned out by a roaring in their ears. The courtroom began to spin. Their attorneys noticed something was wrong, placing steadying hands on their arms, but it wasn't enough. The television personalities who had commanded screens for years suddenly slumped forward.
Oh my
Security
God.
rushed toward them as a collective gasp echoed through the courtroom. The reality TV icons who prided themselves on composure were now unconscious before prosecutors and the world.
They fainted.
They're having severe stress reactions, a doctor in the gallery called out, pushing through the crowd. Give them space. Someone call emergency services. As paramedics rushed in, photographers captured the scene that would dominate entertainment.
Wonder who fell first, Chumley or the old man, Rick. They both went kablooey. They fell down in the courtroom. One of the doctors say they're passed out from stress.
Headlines worldwide. Rick Harrison and Chumley, the beloved Pawn Stars
Stretched out.
personalities, being carried out on stretchers. The emotional weight of their legal defeat finally taking its physical toll. Outside the courtroom, family members were seen briefly consoling each other, while History Channel
We'll see you
executives
on the
stood
other
in
side,
shocked
champ.
silence, refusing to comment as they were whisked away by security. The medical drama quickly overshadowed the legal verdict. Entertainment sites and social media exploded with reactions as fans shared updates and messages of support with hashtags like Pawn Stars Justice and Free Rick and Chum.
Free
3 days
Rick and
later,
Chum.
still looking pale, but with their composure regained, Harrison released a statement through his attorney. We maintain our innocence and will appeal this verdict with every resource available, he wrote with characteristic determination.
How? You got no money.
The truth will eventually come to light. The health scare seemed to shift something fundamental in the public narrative. In a surprising development, several former business associates issued statements questioning the verdict. According to one anonymous source, many in Las Vegas viewed the sentences as disproportionately harsh, though official representatives would not comment on potential appeals. Neither would comment on specific legal strategies.
They could have given them
Russell's
boys a
next
nick.
statement struck a defiant tone. This fight is far from over, he said through his attorney. While we face the most difficult
Oh,
challenge
look
of
at
our
that pretty
lives,
dog.
we have faith in the appeals process and the truth. The entertainment world buzzed with speculation about what might come next. This case has changed the landscape of reality television, commented one veteran producer. The contrast between their public personas and these allegations raises profound questions about authenticity in the genre. Media observers noted that both men appeared to be preparing for a lengthy appeals process. Fan forums immediately lit up with conspiracy theories and alternative explanations, though legal experts cautioned that appeals faced significant hurdles. When asked directly about their client's collapse in court, their attorney gave a measured response. The physical reaction you witness demonstrates the profound shock of innocent men facing unjust punishment.
Wow.
We remain committed to proving their innocence through the appeals process.
Wow.
The legal battle had become something unexpected, a potential true crime saga rather than a reality television storyline.
I still can't believe they gave them boys life.
With streaming services reporting increased viewership despite the conviction, as viewers re-examined episodes for potential clues to the alleged double life. For fans who had followed their careers for years, the courtroom drama might represent a profound lesson about the potential gap between television personas and reality. The collapse that shocked the entertainment world hadn't just been men reaching their breaking point. It may have been the beginning of a legal saga that would test...
That's going to do it for me today, guys. I just want to make sure y'all understand and know that how appreciative I am for you guys watching my videos, liking my videos, and subscribing to my channel. It's been going great. Y'all been doing a great job, but I'm here to ask you guys to tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell an auntie, an uncle, whatever about the channel. Just tell them to subscribe. It's free. And if they're feeling down one day and need a pickup, I'm here. I mean, just make sure you we need to get to the top. My lifelong dream is to have 100,000 subscriber plaque, and that's where we're going. That's what we're going to get. I believe in you guys. I believe in myself, and I know we can do it. With that being said, we out. Peace.